Hello guys, it's Stock Trader Max here and welcome to another video where today we're going to be analysing the S&P 500 followed by the Nasdaq 100 and then of course the Bitcoin price chart. But before we get started, as always, anyone who's interested in joining my Signal team, then make sure you visit my website dailymarketmovements.com. I charge a very small fee of just over $20 and this gives you access to my Telegram group chat where I share all my personal trades that I take on my own account, as well as getting access to the educational hub here on my website where you can learn all of the indicators that I use on a day-to-day basis. I teach them all one by one, and of course you gain access to the macro research that I share as well over on the Telegram group chat. So dailymarketmovements.com if you would like to sign up. But let's get started with today's video. Obviously, first trading session of a shortened trading week. On Thursday it's Thanksgiving, and on Friday we have the market that only opens for a few hours, but there's not going to be much volatility. So I will be taking Thursday and Friday off this week. But starting here with the S&P 500, we had that fourth wave dip. We hit my accumulation zone, and then from there we have seen some buying activity. Currently trading at 6,000. I do expect us to break above the swing highs that we formed just a few weeks ago on the 11th of November. A break above 6,024 then means that we are well within this fifth wave, and I do believe we could go up and achieve as high as maybe let's say 6,200 by the end of the year. Some concerning things that I am seeing in the market, though, if we just have Nvidia here, for example, we are starting to see some bearish divergence. So if we did see breakdowns in stocks like Nvidia, which is the second largest company in the world at this moment in time, then obviously that's going to cause some negativity in the S&P 500. So yeah, I'm kind of keeping a very close eye on some of the movements that I am seeing, some of the internals, which are suggesting that we're getting a very frothy at current valuations. But that being said, you got to understand that all of the short-term volatility. So for example, this dip that we saw here, where we saw the S&P fall 3%, this is likely just traders. They're not long-term investors. The long-term investors that have made a significant amount of money in their current positions, they're not going to be wanting to close their trades ahead of the end of the tax year, which of course is just in a roughly 5 weeks time. They're going to want to wait until January to do that, so then they have to pay their taxes in April 2026 rather than April 2025. So yeah, the investors continue to stay long, the traders continue to chop around, but ultimately I do believe that there is a buy the dip mentality as we move into the end of the year. Nasdaq 100, very similar to the S&P 500. We entered my accumulation zone. I was a buyer. We've now moved up. It's not really until we break above 21,230, which of course was a swing high that we formed back on the 11th of November, so similar to the S&P 500, that I would then consider this to be within the fifth wave. Fifth wave for the Nasdaq 100 takes us to around 23,300. Very bullish here. Technology has lagged since late summer, and I do expect it to play catch up, especially as we move into Q1 2025. Bitcoin, some short-term weakness over the weekend. This was just a liquidation event. If we just quickly bring up the liquidation heat map, obviously we're now going down to try and liquidate some of these leverage longs that are between 96,000 and 98,000. We're currently in the midst of doing that. I see us going pretty much as low as 96,500, but ultimately look at how many leveraged short positions there are, just shy of 100,000. This takes all the way up to around 99,500. So it could be the case that we go down towards, let's say, 96,500 to liquidate some of these long positions that have formed over the past day or so before we bounce and go and try and liquidate some of these short positions at around 99,500 to 100,000. Ultimately, this market is trading in a new price discovery area, and I do expect us to go and achieve 109,000, which is my third wave target here for the Elliott wave. There's no bearish divergence that has formed on the RSI just as of yet, and with that being the case, I do expect us to continue chugging higher. I think a lot of people are expecting 100k to be a brick wall where we could see some huge resistance, and they're willing to short there, but I actually see it as the complete opposite. I think once we hit 100,000, I do believe we will see 110,000 before we see 90,000. So I think that we could catch a lot of people off guard with Bitcoin trading high, and of course there'll be the proxies, the miners that will benefit from this type of move. Already we're seeing MicroStrategy up 5%. We're seeing Mara up significantly as well. Set to open around $27 a share, and this is going to continue to be the outcome as Bitcoin continues to move higher. But don't forget, guys, if you'd like to join my Signal group, then make sure you visit my website dailymarketmovements.com. That's going to be it from me today, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Thank you.